Hello and welcome to another episode of the Thursday Night GT Championship by Race Department on Project Cars for PS4. Tonight we race at Long Beach, the street circuit, and I'll take you through the track. So we will follow one of the guys who is now on track, and let's get some screen time for Ben. He is driving, he's made a switch. He and his teammate Scooby made a switch to the Nissan GTR. Not one of the most suited cars for this track, so we'll see how they do. Okay, so he is now on his warm-up lap, about halfway. This track is very tight and pretty much unforgiving, and here he goes. Let's follow him in. So this is the start finish line over here. This is the pit exit coming on to turn 1. And here, this is a very tight right-hander. Turn 4. Turn 5. This is the only hot spot because, well, it's actually only one of the only few points where you can actually well, cut the corner. So we did see him crash, and let's see where the others are. Let's get the map. There we are. Liam is at the back straight. We are now driving with Liam at third, so one of the Spam Fritters Racing drivers. Like I said, very, very tight circuit. It's just like Monaco. One small mistake will cost you dearly. Remember, we race with damage on, so one collision with the wall could be devastating. Here we are. Straight, and he coming up to turn 1. And turn 2 immediately followed by turn 3. Here we are, turn 4, tight right-hander. And turn 5, the hot spot. It's also not wise to cut there because if you hit the chicanes, you might lose the rear end. This is turn 6. If I get the speedo there, you can see the gears. It's all pretty low gears, these corners. The back straight again. Up to turn 9. And this is very tight. Back to only 40 kilometers an hour. And as you can see, the times here are, fastest times are around 1 minute 17 seconds. And Liam is currently in pole, followed by Gaz, who's really close behind. And here we are with Benji. Let's go to the trackside view in his Audi. With his very good ability to turn, the Audi is one of the favorite cars for this track. Unless you hit the wall, of course. And you can see some guys pinning out here and there. This is Adam, Benji's teammate. He is not in the Audi, he is in the Renault, the RS01. Very beautiful car to see. Well, in terms of power, it could use some more. The new patch, of course, changed a couple of things like the drivability of a lot of cars, actually. The soft tires that are now drivable again, even in a bit colder conditions. And yeah, there was a bit of a balance of performance, as I think I saw somewhere, but not as big as the patch 3 when it came out. That was a huge difference. Meanwhile, we are watching Jamie, and he just hit the corner. So there you see how easy it is to lose the car, get some damage. So we might not see a lot of overtaking because of its narrow streets there, and just there aren't that many places to overtake. The back straight maybe, but it's possibly too short. And of course the straight at start finish from here, that's a pretty long way down to turn 1. So that's probably one of the only few opportunities to overtake, and I am expecting, well, quite some damage. As you can see here, Killer Ramsey's car is also pretty damaged in the front. The thing is, especially during qualifying, if you have damage and you go back, you can fix your car, but the damage is still visible even though your car is back fixed to 100%. As here you can see again, his car is fixed, but still looks like it hit a ton of walls. Meanwhile, Gaz has set a new fastest time in a 1.17.8. So Liam is now almost a tenth behind. Followed by Benji and Adam, the drivers of Snakes Unite Racing. Ramsey in his cripple looking Ferrari in 5th. Here we are back to Ben Milden. And Ben in the GTR, one of my favorite cars. Won't give it extra screen time because of it. It's just a beautiful car. It's not the best car, especially not in this game, but it is definitely fast. So here Ben just started his hot lap. He is currently 1.2 seconds slower than Gaz, and the GTR probably doesn't have much more than that in it. Maybe he can get it down to a second, but I doubt that the GTR is able to get under a 1.17. And well, something went wrong there. Okay, here we have Six, also in the Renault. Ooh, almost hit the wall there. And here is Ben's teammate PS Scooby 555, also known as Nathan, also in the GTR, pretty heavily damaged, or at least visibly, and he is driving the number 24 Godzilla. That's also the name of the team, Godzilla Racing. And meanwhile, Liam has claimed pole position again. He improved his time and beat Gaz by 100th of a second. There are still just under 9 minutes to go in this qualifying session, so maybe Gaz will be able to get back his pole position. But for now it's a 1-2 on the starting grid for the Spam Fritters Racing team, followed by Benji and Adam, Snakes Unite Racing, and Ben did a 1:17.7. So very impressive in the GTR. In 5th place currently. Here we have Ramsey in the Ferrari, 1:17.9. Jamie in the Bentley with a really heavy dent in front that won't do much good to the intercooler if it wasn't just a visual damage. Just got a lot of that low sound of that Bentley. Amazing. And yes, Gaz just took back his pole position, a 1:16.7. That's very impressive in the Audi. Like I said, the Audi is the favorite car for this track. It does turn in very, very well. Here we are with Benji also in the Audi, so as you can see, it's an Audi 123 for now. Oh, and we just witnessed a crash by Benji. I just wanted to show you how tight this track is from the cockpit view. There are no runoffs, so you can't make any mistake here. And it's easy to lose the car, especially in the turn you just saw. And you have to know where the corners are, because you can see a couple of runoffs straight through, but if you're already in the corner and you're going wide, you'll be bound to hit the wall, damage your car hard. And that's very, very dangerous at this track, because you have to crawl back all the way to the pits, and it's so tight. If other cars are coming up behind you, it's a very dangerous situation. Also, we have the rules turned off, so we won't see any flags either, which makes it extra dangerous, because you don't know if someone has crashed right in front of you. You won't see it until you just come around that corner. And why do we have the rules turned off, you might think? That's because we don't agree with the penalties that are in the game. sometimes, yeah, just when you're being pushed wide, or when you have to avoid another car who's been involved in an incident, you go a bit wide across the line, it'll give you a time penalty, and yeah, we don't agree with that as a league, so we turn it off, and instead of that, we have 1 or 2 hotspots each race where you just can't cut the track. You're not expected to cut or extend anywhere. Well, but sometimes it happens, and if a driver is seen doing that, he can and probably will be reported to the stewards. So he will get a penalty either way. So, yeah, like I said, we have a hotspot, 1 or 2 each race. It's turn 5, the one with, well, the standalone curbs. And the curbs are very high here. This one is pretty doable, but if you hit this curb just a bit too much on the inside, you'll just lose the rear, hit the wall, and it could be game over. As you could see, Killer Ramsey just passed turn 5. The curves were almost not visible from that point of view. Meanwhile, Gaz has extended his lead. He has done a 1:16.5. That's very, very fast. A couple of days ago, I was in a practice session with another driver, and I was driving the Mercedes AMG GT3 around here. My fastest time so far was a 1:18.5, so these guys are doing very well. I must say that the AMG is probably not one of the best cars for this track. I mean, the straights are definitely where the AMG does best. But the tight corners, that's just not for the Mercedes. That's why the Audi is so good here. Doesn't have the mile-long nose. Short bonnet, engine in the back. Just have to pay attention not to let the back step out too much. Be easy on the gas in the corner exit. And with 50 seconds on the clock officially, this qualifying season is coming to an end. After that, there's still about 2 minutes probably to finish. Here's Gaz waiting, and he's going for one more hot lap with 23 seconds on the clock. See if he can improve his own time and secure that pole position. You can see the blue line there in the back. He was crossing that line. That is allowed. That's the pit exit. And it is allowed to cross that line if there is no car coming out of the pits. If there is a car coming out of the pits, drivers have to stay on the left side of the blue line to avoid contact. Here Gaz is going through turn 8. Liam is in the pits, so there's only a slight chance that anyone will top that time. Meanwhile, we can see at the bottom that something with the timing is a bit off because Scooby is there. Three times in a row. And there's definitely something wrong here. That must be a glitch in the patch. All I can do is see the timings. Nope, there's wrong too because Liam was in the Gaz was in the lead, as you can see here. So Gaz pole position, his teammate Liam in second, Benji in third, Adam in fourth, and those are the two first rows. Then we have PS Scooby in the GTR in fifth place, Killer Ramsey in sixth in the Ferrari, Ben Milden in the GTR in seventh, Jamie in eighth, Seeks in ninth, and Paul Scott in 10th place. So now the drivers are getting ready for the feature race at Long Beach. 31 laps with one mandatory pit stop. They now have 2 minutes to get their settings right, get their fuel settings right, get their pit strategies right, which is very important. You don't want to do that while you're in the car. So they have 2 minutes to finish, and then we will start the feature race. 30 minutes, and let's see who will finish that race. And we'll get across the finish line first. And if anyone will have to forfeit because of damage, because this is a very, very tight circuit. If you have never seen a race before, this is the Thursday Night GT Championship, and we are a racing league by RaceDepartment. If you want to know some more about the TNGTC, go to the RaceDepartment website at racedepartment.com and just search for TNGTC, which stands for Thursday Night GT Championship. We are still looking for drivers. As you can see, tonight we only have 10 drivers on the grid. So if you're interested, get in touch and we will get you in a practice session. Well, here we go. And the lights are off. Gaz has a very, very good start. Liam has a slow start and has been caught by Benji with Adam almost beside him. Going up to turn 1. And will everything stay in one piece here? Oh, we had some contact there. And the line has formed, so Gaz has done well and took hold of that first place, got a good lift off, and Liam has fallen back to 4th place. taken over by both the Snakes Unite Racing drivers. And now we can see if there will be a possibility to overtake on the main straight. And there's Jamie. There must have been gone something wrong. Don't know where, don't know when. Meanwhile, back in front of the line forming, we can see that Scooby is pushing and looking for a gap, trying to overtake Liam. Let's see how that looks from Scooby's cockpit. And this car, corners aren't its thing, but it is definitely fast on the straights like a rocket. So maybe he can make a move on Liam after this final turn. Ooh, and he spins out. And this is hard. You will lose a lot of positions here. He is blocking Jamie, and that's the big downside of this track. If they are all close, you make one mistake and you're at the back, because there's no way to get on track, back on track safely. And we see someone in the wall there. Who is that? Who is that? I can't see who it is. It is Killer Ramsey. Something definitely happened there. And there he goes again. And he disconnected. We have Killer Ramsey disconnected. Meanwhile, we have a battle on our hands here for the final place in the field. Scooby and Jamie are battling it out. And meanwhile, Scooby, that was Paul spinning. So there's now quite a gap. And also Jamie spun out and he is in the pits. Here we are in front and Benji is closing in on Gaz. It's very close. Did Gaz make a mistake or is Benji just so close now? We might get a battle at this very tight circuit. Will Benji get the opportunity to overtake here, or does he have to wait and push Liam into a mistake? Gaz into a mistake, sorry about that. Here on the main straight, Audi versus Audi. I don't think Benji will be able to get close enough. No, the distance is too big. And here we are with Benji to see how his chase on Gaz is. So you can see here again on the straight, Gaz is actually pulling away. And let's see how Liam and Adam are doing. That's also a very tight gap. The Audi is fast, and well, I wasn't expecting that, but the Renault is doing pretty well over here. So Long Beach, like I said a few times already, a very tight street circuit. It's not that long. It's 3.1 kilometers long. That's 1.9 miles. It has 11 turns, and as you can see, a GT car goes around this track in about 1 minute 18, 1 minute 20. The lap record was set in 2017 at 1.00 minutes. So that's very fast, but that wasn't a GT3 car, that was an Indy car. So can imagine with all the downforce on an Indy car, it must be a thrill to drive around this track in an Indy car. But back to the race. Liam is close, but not close enough for an attempt to overtake Adam, who is in third place. And in front of these two guys, we have Gaz and Benji. It's very close. He is definitely putting some pressure on Gaz. And the only thing he can hope now is that Gaz will make a mistake, so he can profit from that. And maybe if he gets a good exit here, he might get a good toe and try to overtake Gaz before turn 1. But it looks like Gaz had a really good exit there because he's pulling away. Here we are with Ben. Just went past turn 5. Is now in 5th place. So switched places with his teammate. Well, actually, his teammate is right behind him. Well, right behind him. There's 9 seconds between the two GTR drivers. And in the back you could hear Jamie's Bentley roaring through the field. He is now a lap behind because of his pit stop. And Seeks had a pit stop as well. Paul in the Ferrari. in a bit of a no man's land. 20 seconds behind Scooby and over a minute behind, almost a minute in front of Jamie, who is getting closer and closer, but he has a lot of time to make up for. Meanwhile, back to the front, Benji is still putting pressure on Gaz, and Liam is still trying to pass Adam. And trying to get another double podium for Spamfrittis, but he just made a mistake coming out of that turn. Lucky for him, it's a very tight turn, so he won't lose too much time from that. And here we can see that Liam's distance to Adam is growing. Is that because of his mistake, or is there something else going on? We're 10 laps down. We still have 22 to go. So we will be expecting the first regular pit stops in about 5 laps. Sorry about that. So his distance to Adam has grown to about 1.5 seconds. Meanwhile, Benji is hanging on to Gaz. Doing a very good job in the Audi. Also, very beautiful car, very beautiful livery as well. Let's drive along with the race leader for a while here. The back straight. The downside of this street circuit is that it doesn't really have names for the corners, at least not that I know of. I have to look that up. Looking up now. No, it's just There are some, but it's more that it's part of the parts of the track have names, like the back straight is the Seaside Way, which is just the street it's on. And this is turn 5, where you can see the curbstones in the middle of nowhere. That's the hot spot. Looking for Benji's View. Going through Pine Avenue into turn 8, back straight, Seaside Way. And as you can see there, you already saw the Firestone banner. This is the Firestone turn, which turns into Indy left, and then the final turn without a name onto Shoreline Drive. And the middle of this part right here is called Bridgestone. So and we will see who will enter the pits first. Is Benji gonna follow Gaz, or is he gonna do trying to get an undercut and get Gaz there? If he wants to do that, he'll probably have to come in this lap. And we will see in a couple of seconds. The pit entry is very weird here. That's right to your right here. And they both continue. So no pit stops yet for these guys. And it looks like Benji is gonna follow Gaz into the pits whenever he's going. If you're watching and if you have any questions, just ask us in the chat. And I'll try to answer it as soon as possible. So here we are, halfway through the feature race. Gaz started from pole and still is in the lead, but Benji is right behind him, following him, and he has done so for since the start of the race, doing a very good job just staying right behind him. And they're going inside, both of them. So what will we see? Also Adam entering the pits. Will Scooby follow? Meanwhile, Liam has fallen back to sixth place. So did he go into the pits or did he spin? I'm not quite sure. Here he is, down the back straight, following Scooby in his Ferrari. Paul, sorry about that. I don't see any damage, so he probably made his pit stop pretty early and is going for the undercut. And there we have Gaz coming out, Benji coming out. They're already on track. And now there's quite the gap between Gaz and Benji. There we have Adam, about 3 seconds behind Benji, and Benji is 2 seconds behind. Then we have Paul, but he still has to pit. And, well, for now it does look like Liam tried to do an undercut, which failed. Apparently, because he is still in virtual 4th place. Only he is now quite some time. He is 6 seconds away from Adam, who is now in 3rd. So once Paul has pitted, Liam will be back in 4th place. Yes, he is continuing, so I think he did his pit stop early. Meanwhile, the gap between Gaz and Benji is still over a second, but it's only a second and a half now. Now it's back to under a second. So Benji is probably just faster than Gaz, but he's not able to overtake. It's just too tight. And he just can't get close enough on the back straight. On the main straight, I mean. Well, let's see how the rest is doing. And we have Seeks in the back. And his Renault. And here is Jamie in 8th place. '88 Bentley. Here's Liam in 7th. And Paul is in the pits. And here is the cameraman's a bit drunk here. We are watching Scooby in his 24 GTR. Very close behind his own teammate, Ben. And Ben is now in 4th place. Is there something wrong with his car? Or is Scooby so much faster? And the question is, will he fight his own teammate? Or will he let him pass because he is faster? Definitely does look like a problem, and he gives room for his teammate to get by. So there must be something wrong with this car. Probably some aero damage. Back to the front, where Benji is still chasing Gaz. But Gaz making his car as wide as possible. Trying to stay in front. And well, this is the track to do that. And we have Paul in the back after his pit stop. Came out just behind Seeks, so we might have a battle for last place here. For the remainder of the race, we still have 12 laps to go. And here's Jamie, still in nowhere land. Liam, if he was trying to go for the undercut, that definitely didn't go as planned. Or maybe he spun out. That's the downside of only one pair of eyes for this race. Back to the front, where Benji might get some advantage from the back markers, which are probably Paul and Seeks. Yes, they will have to let them pass, but this is so tight, so this is definitely the spot for Benji to take an advantage of a Gaz who is trying to overtake the back markers. And they have to let him pass. And Paul is going to the side for these guys, letting them through. Ooh, was that a mistake by Gaz? Benji's now right on his tail. This is close racing. And you can see that Gaz is taking different lines to defend. But they are coming up to the final part of the track, and Seeks is right in front of them again, making things exciting here. And ooh, that was close. That was definitely a mistake by Seeks. Let them through, Seeks. Get off the throttle there, yeah. It looked like Benji would benefit from that. What wasn't near collision. Benji turning off his lights to make it harder for Gaz to see where he is exactly, and he is back on his tail again. He is definitely faster at this track. His race pace is higher than Gaz's, but that's not enough. He needs an opportunity to overtake. The only thing he can do is just wait, and hope that Gaz will make a mistake. Which he does! And we caught that on the onboard camera, and Benji is passed. Now, will he get the chance to extend his lead? Meanwhile, Six made a mistake. Yes, Paul got by, and here's Benji defending from Gaz. But then there's a big gap again. Another mistake by Gaz. So here he was, just 3/10 behind Gaz a lap ago, and now his gap is almost 2 seconds. Is Benji unleashed for the final part of this race? Only 7 laps to go, and now it's just a question. Now it's just he just can't make any mistakes now. He has to nail every single lap now. And here we are with Adam in 3rd place. And the timing is a bit weird here. So, there we have it. Gaz is about 8 seconds in front of him. Scooby is 4 seconds behind him. Doing a very good job in the GTR. And Ben must have some aero damage, because he is now 4.5 seconds away from his teammate. And we only overtook him a couple of laps ago. And Liam, who fell down to 6th place, started 2nd, lost 2 positions to the Snakes Unite Racing fellas. And probably tried an undercut. That didn't work out very well for him, because he was overtaken by another team, Godzilla Racing, the 2 GTRs. We lost one driver, Killer Ramsey, disconnected. Here we have Jamie. Let's get on board with Jamie here. Let's get back to the race leader. And Benji is unleashed. He is now almost 4 seconds away from Gaz. In only 2 laps, 3 laps. He was behind him for such a long time, waiting for Gaz to make one mistake. And one mistake proved to be enough. He is now loose. and extending his lead. So the question is, does Gaz have an aero problem, because he is doing lap times of 119.6 while he was doing 116.5 during the qualifying session. And of course, this is race pace. This is slower. The car is heavier. Tires are more warm. But the difference in lap times is pretty big between those two right now. Benji is about a second faster in the last lap. And here we can see that Scooby has caught up to Adam. And we might get a nice battle in the last 3 to 4 laps. Will he be able to pass Adam? Look at the difference in size between those two cars. And Adam blocked him. That Renault is such a tiny car, and that GTR is just a beast. Oh, and a tap by Scooby. Adam flashing his lights. So there goes his opportunity to overtake. Two totally different cars here. The RS01 very good at turns and corners, and the GTR not so much, but the power on that car is amazing. So will he be able to overtake on probably not the back straight, which is too short, but on the main straight across the start finish line? That might be a good opportunity to make a move on Adam and try to claim that third place. And that would be the first time a GTR is on podium in this league. Of course, this is the first season where the GTR is available. And another tap. That might give Adam some aero damage. Adam went into the pits. That's gonna cost him. That's probably gonna be a stewards issue. What happened there? Did he go voluntarily? That is weird. So Scooby now in third place, but I think this will be a stewards issue. Ben in fourth place, but he is still 4 seconds behind his teammate. And here we have Gaz, and the gap to Benji is now 9 seconds. Benji's pace is amazing. Over a second faster than Gaz. So extending his lead. And in his final lap, passing his own teammate who just came out of the pits and now fell back to 7th position. I was in third all that time. The back straight for the last time for Benji. Seaside Way through Firestone turn. And then the Indy left. On his way to the final turn. And there it is. A sublime drive by Benji, who's crossing the finish line here. And he wins the feature race at Long Beach. And he finally realizes he won, flashing his lights in victory. And from here, it's pretty... I'm not able to see the timings. And I can't see the drivers anymore, so... There they are. Godzilla Racing. Crossing the line in succession. And we have a pileup. Standard antics after the race. And here is Jamie crossing the line. And that's it. That is the feature race. Won by Benji, followed by Gaz. And Ben in third place. Don't know what happened with Scooby in the end. Liam in fifth. Jamie sixth. Adam fell down to seventh place. Paul in eighth. And Six in ninth place. So that is the feature race at Long Beach, the street circuit. This was round 27 of 41 in total. And this is the Thursday Night GT Championship by Race Department on Project Cars 2 for PS4. Thank you for watching. If you want to know some more about the league, visit us at RaceDepartment.com and look for the TNGTC threads. You can watch us on YouTube, of course. Just type in TNGTC and you'll probably find us. Thursday Night GT Championship. Follow us on Twitter. Our Twitter handle is TNGTC. And you can also find us on Facebook at facebook.com/TNGTC. And we also have an Instagram page, TNGTC_official. So find us on social media and let us know what you think of the league, what you thought of the race. And if you want to join, hit us up and we'll get you into a practice session. Thanks again for watching, and see you in a couple of minutes for a new live stream for the sprint race at Long Beach. Okay, see you then. Bye.